So when we think about the NIST cybersecurity framework, one way we can approach this is thinking about it as a holistic guide for aligning executive governance and management with eventually how we do operations and delivery of service. Right? From an executive perspective, organizational governance, like a board of directors, whomever the most senior governing body is, they're ultimately on the hook for optimizing organizational risk, including things like security risk. That means they need to be well informed about existing risks, about potential future risks, and they need to be able to identify and prioritize investments and commitments, and also to provide clarity about what the organization's risk appetite is. Given the organization's mission and strategic priorities, what commitments can we and should we make related to cybersecurity? And that needs to be communicated to management. Management, in turn, was then going to work with operations teams to assess and establish current state, to establish potential desired future state, and to make decisions about improvements and investments. Where do those investments get made, and how do we do that in a way that helps us iteratively improve our cybersecurity posture in the context of the business's priorities around overarching organizational risk? And that, of course, then feeds back into the information that executive management, eventually governance, gets about organizational performance and changes to the risk posture over time. Right? Everything in this model is dynamic. Right? And so the challenge we face, of course, is that asset values change and threats change and vulnerabilities change and the availability of controls change. So literally everything in the risk profile equation that we talked about in the last chapter changes in this dynamic. And so it's our job to create, as part of our risk management approach, this ongoing set of cycles of information about risk and improvement that help us maintain proper alignment between organizational objectives and how we then carry out and drive our improvement activities.